and welcome back to my channel. I had promised you guys regular pregnancy updates and here I am having missed like 3 weeks. It's been a little bit of a blur, a lot has happened, so I thought that I would do a little recap for you of weeks 14, 15 and 16 so far. So if you guys haven't been here before, my name is Kitty. I cover everything from trying to conceive, pregnancy, birth, breastfeeding and support during the postpartum period. I'm a registered general nurse, lactation consultant, hypnobirthing instructor, antenatal educator and birth and postpartum doula. So that's sort of a big mouthful, but essentially I want to support you in your journey into parenthood, no matter what way that might look. So check out my other videos if that sounds like something you might be interested in. But a bit of a background on me. This is oh my gosh, my maths is so bad. It's my 5th pregnancy. We lost, unfortunately, and very sadly, 3 babies. So this is a really special baby, and not that all babies aren't special, but it all becomes much more precious, and it's like, I don't know how to really describe it. It's like that perfect combination of worry and just being so like heart-achingly grateful for every day that you have with them. So we've been sort of celebrating this baby from really early on, but this pregnancy has been completely different. I have a son who is, oh my goodness, going to be 2 very shortly. His name is Atticus, and then I have a gorgeous stepdaughter who's 9. She's 9 years old, which is bonkers. And this pregnancy is completely different from any of the others I've experienced. So with this pregnancy, you might want to kind of do a little recap if you want to kind of find out a little bit more about how it's been going so far, but essentially the exact opposite of how my pregnancy with Atticus was. So, so far I've been feeling superb fatigue, awful nausea that hasn't truly eased. And I feel like I have yet to come into that phase of feeling really pregnant. I just look and feel a bit miserable and bloated and gross. I have, however, felt this baby move, which is just the best feeling in the world. Honestly, I felt like I was feeling the baby move from like 14, 15 weeks, which is bonkers. And I had almost expected to not feel this baby to move until much later, so I was really sort of second guessing myself, but now that those same movements have only gotten stronger, I know exactly what it is. So that's really lovely. And I think with sort of subsequent pregnancies you do tend to sort of recognize the signs and symptoms a little bit more, and I'm so very in tune with my body, but it's really lovely and it just makes it all that much more real. I got a lot of questions over my Instagram about whether or not we are going for a home birth, and we've had a little bit of kind of ups and downs in this pregnancy. I absolutely plan on birthing this baby at home once everything is okay, and unfortunately when I went in for my booking appointment just to go with my local hospital, just if for some reason I ever needed to go into them, there was sort of an issue brought up around not this baby's development, but my previous baby's development. So he was a very small baby, he was 2.8 kilograms, which makes perfect sense to me because I'm a very small human, for those of you who have met me, and I'm the tallest person in my family, so I'm really short. My whole family are really small, and I married a short man, so I make small babies, and that's something that I was fine with and my previous care providers never highlighted as an issue. But of course, now that it's been brought up as something that could possibly be an issue, you can't unsee that. So it means this baby's going to be under a little bit more rigorous monitoring. I said that a bit funny, monitoring. And I hope to transition back into midwifery-led care that's going in the direction of having a home birth. But for those of you who follow me over on Instagram, you know I'm all about evidence-based care and following what's right for you and your family and this baby's journey. And if it turns out that this baby isn't developing in that sort of timeline and that pattern of growth that we like to see during pregnancy, well then so be it. And one of the wonderful things that I'm always harping on and on about with my new parents and in my hypnobirthing and antenatal classes is that birth doesn't just have to be one set way according to one set ideology. And the way that I teach hypnobirthing is that the tools and techniques that you learn through that are sort of life skills. So, you know, and a really gorgeous friend reminded me quite recently that yes, it wasn't the news that I wanted to hear. And for sure, I still visualize myself having this beautiful water birth in the sitting room. But she was like, you know what? You can also use this opportunity to show, you know, you're following the people who watch you and want to learn from you, that you can have that beautiful, positive experience no matter where you are. So I'm sort of holding that thought in my mind that no matter what way it goes, it's still going to be just as gorgeous and just as beautiful. So distraction has been my primary mode of sort of getting through these last few weeks. I've had a couple of new symptoms as well, possibly stress induced, but also could be related to the pregnancy, and that's headaches. So I've been trying to kind of up my water intake, which hasn't been easy. It's so hard to remember to mind yourself when you've got a little person, right down to the basic things of like managing to wash like often enough. So it's been fun, it's been a journey, and Atticus has also been sort of not dropping his nap every day, but certainly not taking them as regularly or sleeping for as long as he had been. So he's never been a sleeper, but, and I know you guys aren't here to hear about his sleep situation, but that means that I'm not getting a window of like opportunity to catch up on things or to do work or to rest or the things that I would normally be doing. So I feel like I'm constantly like, catch up mode all the time. But it's all of a sudden gotten really exciting. We still, at the moment, are thinking that we're not going to find out the gender. We found out last time with Atticus, and it was actually the funniest experience. We had lost a baby girl before that, and I sort of knew that, you know, we needed to find out for this pregnancy. So with Atticus, we went in and found out, and I was for sure, I was convinced. I was like, I make girls. You know, I have a sister. I grew up, you know, in sort of a girly household. I'm quite girly, sometimes girly, I don't know, mixture. And the lady, the sonographer, was like, do you want to find out? And we were like, yeah. And we didn't really have a plan on sort of announcing the sex or anything. So we were like, yeah, what is it? And she's like, well, there's a willy just there. And I properly was so shocked that I burst out crying. So it was really interesting. And this time, you know, I think I mentioned this in previous videos, I just don't care either way. And not that you do necessarily care, but you have a certain expectation, and I think everyone always has an idea one way or another. And at this moment in time, I can genuinely tell you I have not got a clue. I have no mama's instinct at all. Pete seems to think that it's a girl. Don't know where he pulled that out of. My stepdaughter Jess seems to think it's a boy. So I'm like, okay, cool. Either camp is great. So I'm like spending time trying to convince the other one that it's the opposite sex so that they don't get disappointed. But it's been an awful lot, and I think that it would be really nice to have that lovely surprise at the end of it all, and something to, not that you don't need the surprise, but I think that for us it's the right decision this time round. And bearing in mind we also have one of each. What else has been going on? I've been feeling so short of breath. And I had sort of been contributing it to the fact that I hadn't been moving as much, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, has my fitness just gone downhill like so fast? I've been running quite a lot, almost daily, jogging with the buggy up until 2 weeks ago, and it's been snowing here in Ireland, and it's been just way too precarious. I walk into walls as it is, so as somebody who was ordinarily that clumsy, I was like, you know what, it's not worth the risk. If someone is going to slip and fall on the ice, it's going to be me, and I'd just be like in the other town before I knew it. So I haven't been running as a result, and I was sort of like, oh my gosh, maybe that's what it is. But honestly, I will go up the stairs now and I'm puffed, and that's to do with all the extra blood flow and all of the extra things that my body is doing at the moment. But it makes things a lot harder, and it's sort of, I'm taking it as like, okay, I need to just calm down a little bit, take it a bit easier. And I'm starting to think now about, okay, well, what can I do to sort of treat myself before this new baby comes, because it's going to be life-changing. We're going to have 3 kids a lot of the time, and with 3 kids comes a whole host of new responsibility. And while I'm so excited, I'm also very aware of the fact that popping down to, do a bit of shopping is going to look like a real trek, and it's going to take us at least an hour to get out of the house. So it's going to be fun in itself. Jess was begging for a dog the other day, and I was just trying to visualize how walking a pup or a rescue dog on top twice a day on top of how new postpartum is going to look. It's just going to be madness. Still breastfeeding. We have recently started sort of getting Atticus into his own space for nighttime. Previously we were co-sleeping, and we had kind of talked a bit back and forth about what we were going to do in terms of when this new baby comes and where is this new baby going to slot into that. And I was joking with my girlfriend saying that my suggestion was just to fill the whole room with mattresses because I love co-sleeping, and Pete was just like, or we could just give him his own room and start doing that. And I was like, you know what, maybe that's probably the perfect opportunity. So we still have like 5 months before this baby comes, so we're giving it plenty of time. At the moment I've almost just moved in with him, but he's really excited to go to bed. We've gotten him kind of his own little sheets that have got all sorts of lovely things for him to look at. He's really excited by it, and he still has the same sort of quite strict-ish bedtime routine in terms of he knows what to expect. So Daddy always does story time with him, and he loves to just get snuggled up in his new bed. So I'm really hoping that if that goes well, maybe I'll be able to nurse this little one on their own and not be tandem nursing, but equally I'm excited for both. So it's been a funny journey. My supply has definitely taken a bit of a drop. He will now stop in the middle of a feed or at the end of a feed for him and ask for water, which he didn't used to do. So that makes my heart break a little bit. And it's so interesting because I've supported women breastfeeding through pregnancy, tandem nursing twins, and it's just so different when you're in your own experience through it. So I'm really grateful for it because it means that I can be a better lactation consultant overall. I think that is everything for the moment. I'm going to show you my tummy while I still fit in this dress, which is not going to be for very long. It's a very small but very cute dress. So this is my 16-week bump. I am now officially out of my jeans. I can't, not that I wore jeans all that much, not at the moment, but if I tried to wear them, they are extremely uncomfortable. During my last pregnancy, I wore the Freddy jeans, which have a little bit of stretch to them, but at this point they just feel so uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm going to show you my bump. I have a little teeny tiny belly. Can you see there? Teeny tiny bump. You can't really see with the ruffles, but it's very exciting. The more bumpy I get, the more I remember how much I love pregnancy. And I was talking to Pete in the car earlier on saying, this can't be my last pregnancy. This is, I love this too much. Despite the hardships that come with it, it's just the most beautiful, magical thing. But I'm going to leave you guys at that. I'm going to run downstairs and get some food for this little man who's playing with his daddy at the moment. And I think for the next pregnancy related video I might do a Q&A, so things that I'm doing this pregnancy, how things have been up until now, and maybe suggestions that I might have that might be helpful for you guys. And yeah, I might throw that up on my Instagram, so please go check that out if you haven't followed me over there already. My Instagram is birthbabybeyond, and I have a website as well with all sorts of free resources and downloads and courses if you are due your baby soon and or you plan on breastfeeding. It's a great place to start, and check out my previous videos as well if you want a little bit more information.